right. So I'm Frankie P from Y100 down here in Miami. I'm going to start by apologizing because I feel like I look a hot mess. I was down in Miami. We're giving away last minute Bad Bunny tickets. I was in the
Wait,
hot sun. I was getting mobbed by
what?
people. It was insane. It was
What
insane.
the heck? This is like a bad look for you? Like this is like a mess?
Look at
Oh
like I'm
my
like still
god.
glistening from being outside. I'm like sweaty and
Are
gross.
you
Yeah, yeah.
out of
But
your
thank you.
mind right now? I think I haven't showered in like 2 days. I've just been up doing these like live streams and stuff and you look great.
Well, you
Dapper.
look great too. I don't know about dapper, but you look great too. And I say that because I was so excited to talk to you that my boss at one point was like, "Are you gonna make it to your Jackson review?" I'm like, "Do not give my interview to nobody else. I have to be there. I'm
Is
gonna
that
make
how
it
that
back."
works? Is that how that works? Like if you don't make it, somebody else would get the interview?
Well, yeah, because we have a couple other people that are doing shows right now, so they're like,
Oh.
"Oh, hey Sammy, can you hop in and take over?" That's kind of what happens, and they gotta like prep
Whoa.
last minute. So I'm here. I
Okay,
made
well,
it, and I'm
yay, we
excited.
made it. I'm so glad you made it. Perfect timing, really.
But
Early.
let me ask you, since I had people going feral over Bad Bunny tickets, who's an artist that you would like chase after me in a Jeep in the hot sun to get tickets to see? What's that one artist?
Lil Dicky.
That's a good one.
I'm sorry. I know everyone's always like, I've had people in the past like, Jax, it's like not really strategic of you to ask like for not the top. They're like, please ask for Justin Bieber next time or something like that. And I'm like, no, dude, come on. I gotta be real. Like I'm obsessed with Lil Dicky.
Well, I wasn't asking you for a collab. I was asking
I
what artist
know.
do you want to see? That's
I
very
know. I'm
different.
just like, they're like, stop saying it out loud. They're like, you could shoot
I
for the stars. Maybe they'll get you tickets one day. I'm like,
No, Little Dicky's
great.
awesome. I love that. That's a great answer. That you couldn't have answered that any better. That was my
I
favorite.
love him. He's like, I still haven't seen him live. I know every single word to every song. I've never met him. I'm such a huge fan. I've tried to harass him on Twitter and he's not gotten back to me yet. But Little Dicky, if you're listening right now, I love you
Come
so
on, Lil Dicky. Lil Dicky's been here before, so let me see if maybe we have his number floating
oh
around. I'll
my
be like, yo,
God.
Jackson's looking for you.
I'll throw up. I'll throw up. Oh man. Thanks.
All right. Well, enough about me. Let's talk about you. We've been playing your song Victoria's Secret like crazy here in Miami. We reposted your TikTok of you showing your mom. You're on Billboard. But I want to
Yay.
know, what was your reaction to finding out?
I was like, I froze. My heart stopped. I was like, no way, no way. I think like that, because like they do the bubbling up. So I saw the week before that there's like they have their predictions of who could make it to the top one, the Hot 100, and I was like, there is just no way. Maybe way down the line, but it happened so quickly. I was like in shock. It's just so
Was
cool.
was it one of those where you just wake up and you look? Were you like looking every day, or you just happen to check that day?
No, I woke up. So I'm on Pacific time in LA. So I woke up I always wake up to a bunch of East Coast texts from people awake earlier than me, and I woke up to everybody telling me
Oh, so
congratulations.
cool.
So I was like, it has to be real. I got at least 5 congratulatory texts, so it's not like I'm dreaming or anything like that.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
love that. All right. Well, listen, this has nothing to do with the song for right now, but I just want
Hmm.
to show you how like out of touch, I want to say guys for the most part. Like I'm generalizing a little bit, but like how out of
Okay.
touch guys are when it comes
Uh
to things
huh.
like this. Prior to your song, the only thing I knew about Victoria's Secret was that if I walked in there with my girl, she was gonna buy like two things and it was gonna cost me like $400,
Yeah, it's
right?
a lot of money.
And then I heard your song and I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea that this was like a daily struggle for
Oh yeah.
women in general, right? So like, can you kind of talk about where this song came from and why you felt like you needed to
Sure.
write this, publish it, and all
Yeah.
that good stuff?
I mean, on a personal level, like like as a songwriter, when there's a name in any title, it's kind of the songwriter dream. You could play on the name. So for me, it was not so much about going up against Victoria's Secret alone as a brand. For me, it was just to like speak on a whole culture of brands that I grew up with, where I only really had access in the media and on billboards and stuff to one body type. Like my friends and I used to, I don't know if anyone knows what this is, but we used to fight about who could get the thigh gap first. Like our thigh fat would be touching, and that was
Yes.
like no, like you need the thigh gap. And so it kind of starts so young. We were way too young to be thinking about any of that really, but it is what it is because it was everywhere. But for me, it turned into a very dark situation where, especially being on camera and being in music, I basically went through all kinds of body dysmorphia, eating disorder, you name it, I had it, and it was like a lifetime of it. And it's still in my life, So I never wanted to speak about this kind of thing because I never felt I felt like a fraud. Like I can't talk about it. I wake up in the morning and I still have very, very low days, right? When I look in the mirror. So for me, it was more of a thing with the kid I babysit and other young girls on my TikTok. They're always telling me about their bullying stories, getting called fat, people making fun of their body hair, all these things that like I experienced as a kid too, but I went in the wrong direction and I took it too personally and I took it to heart and I believed the media and I trusted those billboards, and it led me to a really bad place. And I just wanted to make sure that our next generation of little CEOs, you know, go into the world in a confident way, feel good in their skin, the love coming from within and their heart. Wow, that kind of rhymed. Um, just coming from a confident place. And I don't know, I was nervous to put it out, but the kid I babysit was getting bullied, so she always is telling me those stories. And here we are. Did it for
I
her
love
and
that.
some young girls, and hopefully I'm getting a lot of amazing messages from parents that say that they didn't know how to approach what they saw their kid going through. Like, my daughter, she's been running around for a year saying she's too fat, and I didn't. And every time I tried to stop it, she'd be like, "Shut up, mom! Like, you're my mom, whatever, you know." But now that this song is out, she hasn't said it once all week, you know. Like, and that is the thing that means a lot to me, you know, more than
Yeah,
a billboard slot.
yeah, that representation I think is super important. I feel like our generation is really, we like lived through it, and now we're like, okay, we need to make sure that the next generation doesn't deal
Mm-hmm.
with that. And I love the way that you're going about it by putting out this like amazing song that's just
Thanks.
resonating with kids. That's awesome.
Thank
I
you.
also want to say that a lot of what you said resonated to me as like a guy, because guys sometimes have like body
Mm-hmm.
dysmorphia. Like I'll look at shirtless David Beckham and be like, man, if I could look like that guy, life would be
Yeah.
good. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. A stress of mine when I wrote the song was like, because like, the punchline is funny in a way. It's like Victoria was made up by a dude, but what I really meant when I wrote it was she was carefully constructed by kind of this creepy old man in a boardroom to make sure that they can cash in on an unattainable thing, like to cash in on insecurity. Like, we'll never be able to get all of us be one body type. Everybody's body is different, right? So I didn't ever mean it like a dudes go through this, you know. Like, I got a lot of dads have reached out to me being like, I have been so insecure, and it's also to an extreme level, because you don't want to, dudes are like told they have to be masculine, like they
uh
can't complain about this kind of thing, right? So they don't say it because they don't want to feel weak or whatever it is, you know. So people have reached out to me being like, hey, I'm a 40-year-old man, I've been dealing with my own body dysmorphia internally, have never told anyone, and I just want to let you know, like, your song means a lot to me. And I was like, whoa, that's so cool. Like, thanks. And then please don't feel bad about your body. That's freaking awesome. Sorry you go through it too. Like, that's
it's
nuts.
but it's cool to know that other people go through it. So the question I wanted to ask, and I feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
already going to know the answer based on another answer you gave me,
Yeah,
but
hit
if
me.
you were going to have a verse with a guy talking about his problems in your
Mm-hmm.
song, let's say you did a remix and you included a guy verse in there,
Mm-hmm.
who would it be?
Well, mm. Well, I want to say Lil Dicky, but I think for that specific reason, no, I think maybe Sam Smith.
That'd be cool.
That would be really cool. Sam Smith's been like, talking and speaking on a lot of things that like they never felt comfortable speaking on. So Sam Smith for me would be a really beautiful one. I don't know.
That's a good, yeah,
Who
good
knows?
choice. I like, no, that's a good choice. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the flash mob real quick, because I have been kicked out of a lot of malls for doing a lot of stunts. So I'm just curious,
Me
at
too.
any point in time while you were doing that flash mob, did you see like Paul Blart Mall Cop like on the
Yeah.
Segway, like, hey, yo, wrap it up, let's go, kind of thing?
Yeah, we saw the like mall security, but also real cops were called in. So, but
Oh,
the
good.
cops were just rocking out. Like, I think maybe it was because they came too late. Like, we only get with the flash mob, you only get one shot. Like, it's like only 2 minutes and whatever the song. So if they don't get there on time and break it up, like, I don't think it was a problem because we weren't inside of any stores. It was just kind of a funny thing to do outside of a store. The managers did not look stoked, I will say, but no one was in any major trouble because
Yeah.
technically we did not break any laws.
And how much rehearsing goes into setting up a flash mob? Like I've never been a part of one, but like what's the
Me neither
process?
until now. Obviously, like, we grew up watching flash mobs, so I always wanted to do one. That was just kind of the goofy idea behind it, but it was so fast. It happened. I'm a horrible dancer, like the worst. I have two left feet. It was almost impossible for me to learn this very simple choreography, but there was a company that I hired that had like a choreographer, and he basically choreographed the whole thing and brought on even pro dancers who, by the way, were in the epicenter of eating disorders, and they had all gone through it. So it was actually a really good bonding experience for all the girls and all the guys there. But it took, we only had 2 hours to do
To
this.
prepare?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I got a video in advance because I was like, please, oh my God, I can't learn this in 2 hours. I'm going to need to practice. So I practiced at night, and then I still practiced, and they sent me in the last second and put me in the choreography. So I kind of got to like hang with the girls for an hour and the guys. And I also, it was 110 degrees in the air cutout in the studio, in the dance studio. So we rehearsed for 2 hours, and then everyone got in their car and drove to the mall. And then we did it right there.
Well, I got to give you props because 2 hours of work, that was fantastic.
Okay, give the dancers props. I practiced for way longer than 2 hours. I was up all week, and still when I got there, I forgot like half of it. So
looks great.
really hard.
Great, I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Now you are very popular on TikTok, and when I was scrolling through your videos, and we'll talk about the videos in a second, you got a lot of famous people, a lot of people with blue check marks commenting on your stuff. What are like the top 3 people that commented on your videos that you're like, oh my God, that person knows who I am? Like, why is Howie Mandel commenting on my video right now? This is crazy.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, Selena Gomez was like the biggest one ever. She just replied to my video, which was awesome. Santa Claus is a really cool one for me. Santa Claus comments on, like, the official Santa Claus comments on all of my videos. Like, I'm like, is this real? Like, this is like have you seen Santa Claus on TikTok?
I didn't even know he was on TikTok.
No, it's like no joke. He's like straight up in the North Pole, just being like that. No, like it is Santa Claus. Like that's it. Like Santa Claus is sitting there, full Santa, like the real one is there. So Santa Claus is a big one. I know you're looking at it. It's like legit.
I am.
I swear.
Oh my God, he has a blue check mark. You're not even lying.
He's the verified Santa. No, he's got millions of followers. He's like really Santa. So Selena Gomez, Santa Claus, and Frankie Jonas. Frankie Jonas was a really big one.
That guy's a legend on freaking TikTok.
I love him.
I love him on TikTok. That's awesome.
He's on my TikTok, like a Mount Rushmore of TikTok for me is him.
Okay, so Mount Rushmore is 4. You name 3. What would be the 4th person you would add?
Good question.
Or do you want to just do your whole Mount Rushmore of people?
No, call me Chris. Call me Chris is really funny. That was like the person I was following first before anything. So
love that.
Yeah.
Now you're obviously, aside from the TikTok, you're a super talented songwriter, right? How much music do you have in the can, and when do we get to hear it?
Oh, the hard-hitting questions. Gosh, I don't know, because I honestly didn't expect this to happen with Victoria's Secret. So this went just so crazy overnight for me. I was just planning on dropping everything and I don't know, seeing what happens. But I have a lot of music, I will say. I've been writing my whole life. And then I finally like got in the headspace of like really like sonically, musically, and lyrically what I wanted to put out right now. It all came together and all the cards fell into place really quickly. So I'm ready to go. I have lots of music. I'm so excited to share. So I would say I have a good 20 to 30 songs I love right now. Wow. And maybe out of those 30, 10 I super love. So
how do you pick the ones you love? Because I often hear artists will say like my songs are like my kids, and it's like okay, but you can only pick like 10 for this album. How do you pick the ones? I think
I'm fortunate enough that like at least as a songwriter, I have been writing songs for so long that I kind of learned to let go a little, like not treat them like actual kids, maybe treat them more like maybe my pets. Like no offense to the people like my pets are my kids. Like no, like I think it's more like I kind of hit a point where I feel indifferent and I love everything in different ways. So I actually have a group chat of my friends' kids, and I call it like the little Gen Z focus group. We call it the roast chat. And because TikTok is so Gen Z and I'm not Gen Z, so I sometimes don't even know if I'm connecting to this crowd, right? So I send the music into this chat instead of asking like the guys around me, you know, there's a corporate side of things, right? The only thing I trust, not even my own opinion, is like the 13-year-old girl. So I just like send it into the chat and like ask them for their brutally honest opinion. And you would be surprised about 75% of the time it's not great.
I believe it. I'm a millennial and I work with a lot of Gen Z kids and we go out a lot together to like do events. and I'll say something like it's giving whatever, and they're like, "Ew, Frankie,
Ew,
stop.
yeah, they're
You're a
like,
millennial.
stop,
Don't say that."
boomer.
I'm
Like,
like,
they're
I'm trying to
literally
be cool.
savage. It is savage, which I love. It's very honest, but I guess I'll get down to what the top 10 are once the Gen Z roast chat decides for me.
But again, you're killing it on TikTok. And so I
Thank
wanted
you.
to ask, do your friends ever like not want to tell you things because they're like, oh, she's gonna write a song about it and then make it a TikTok?
Mm.
Does that ever happen to you?
I don't know so much about my friends. I don't have that many of them out here. I won't lie to you, but no, I have like a very small circle of friends,
Okay.
and but no, I don't think that. I think my boyfriend for sure though. I could sense
Oh
that
yeah.
he is like now a little like, don't say anything that's gonna inspire a song right now. Like,
Does he
don't
ever
say
go?
anything
Does he
too
ever?
crazy.
Yeah. Does he ever say something and he goes, "Do not make that into a TikTok or
Yes.
a
Oh
video"?
yeah, yeah. All the time. All the time. Yeah.
I get that all the time too. I'll do something and then my fiance will be like, "Okay, don't make that a topic on the radio,
Ah,
please. I
my
don't want everyone
parents
to know my
too.
business."
Yeah, my parents too. My parents have been saying that. They're like, "Don't you dare. I know exactly what you just thought and throw that thought away." Like I feel like that's got to be comedians too. Like I accidentally like bumped into Sebastian Maniscalco on a hike here once, and I realized after it when I got in the car cuz I said something. Cuz I'm a big fan. I was like, "Hey Sebastian, like I love you. Uh, continue your hike. Sorry to bother you." And he was like, "Oh, thanks so much, whatever." And he was kind of like looking at me funny. And I was like, why is he looking at me weird? And then I got in the car and I opened the visor. And by the way, this is my first LA thing I ever did was I went and I bought a green juice that day. And I had a green all over my face, like literally like a mustache, a green juice mustache. And I'm like, oh God, he is totally going to say something about this in his next thing. And I am going to be the subject and I deserve it because I do this on TikTok. But I'm going to be the subject of his next comedy thing. So crap. Well, anyway.
Have you seen it pop up anywhere yet or not
No,
yet?
not yet, but I'm waiting.
He's probably saving it for like the Netflix special. He's like,
Oh
there's
God,
one time there was a
great.
chick on the trail, and
Oh
like millions of people are gonna see it.
no, please, God, oh God, don't jinx it.
All right. Last thing before we get into the performance, I'm really excited
Yeah.
because usually I do like a Zoom interview like this,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, all right, cool, thanks for coming, and then they just disappear. But you're gonna perform, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, here we are. We're
Um,
actually, for those who can't see, we're in the TikTok room right now. This is
that's where the
it.
magic happens, right? So
Yeah.
the last thing I want to know, because obviously you love performing. Like I said, you're the only person I think I've done an interview with that wants to perform, even on the Zoom. When are you coming to Miami to perform for us in person?
You name it, I'm there. Please, like tomorrow. Like you tell me, I'm there. I love Miami. My parents just moved to Florida, so
For what part?
Palm Coast or
Okay, Palm
is
Beach.
that right? Palm Beach. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
they're
some.
close. That's like an hour
Yeah.
from here. Go
Really?
stay at
Okay,
their
great.
house.
Well,
Yes.
for their housewarming, then I definitely will come out. They close like in a few weeks, so
Let me know. Let me
definitely.
know. We'd love to have you. We'd love to see you perform Victoria's Secret here in person. But for now,
Yeah.
we'll take it over Zoom. So you're gonna do your thing, right?
All
Victoria's
right,
Secret live right here
Miami.
with Jack.
Hi, I'm Jax, and this is my song, Victoria's Secret. God, I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger that all bodies aren't the same. Photoshop itty bitty models on magazine covers told me I was overweight. I stopped eating, what a bummer. Can't have carbs in a hot girl summer. If I could go back and tell myself when I was younger, I'd say, psst, I know Victoria's Secret, and girl, you wouldn't believe she's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude. Oh, she was made up by a dude, a dude. Victoria was made up by a dude. I wish somebody would have told me that thighs of thunder meant normal human thighs, and all the pressure I was under to lose my appetite and fight the cellulite with Hunger Games like every night. If I could go back and tell myself when I was younger, I'd say, hey dummy, I know Victoria's Secret, and girl, you wouldn't believe she's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. What is it? She was made up by a dude. Victoria was made up by a dude. Victoria was made up by. I know Victoria's Secret. And girl, you wouldn't believe she's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. She was never made for me and you. You're the best.
You're all good.
I can't wait to meet you in person. I'm coming soon. Trust me. They have me like going city to city to city for the next like couple. I think until November. I'm going everywhere, so I will be there at some point.
Welcome to come hang out with us anytime. Anytime you want.
Thank you.